Hello students of English Lands, welcome to this video. Today we're gonna talk about future continuous and future perfect. In the previous video we were talking about will and we're going to talk about future. This is gonna be something similar, but that's gonna be more structured, okay? And let's continue now. Look at these examples that we have over here. In order to start, in order to have an idea, future continuous usually is with subject plus will plus be and ing, the base form of the verb, that is present continuous, right? And future perfect, subject, will plus have plus done is similar like present perfect or things like that. But now we are talking about future perfect, by the way. Don't forget about that. Well, let's talk about future continuous. What is future continuous? It's a verb form that is typically used with action verbs to say what will be happening at a certain point in the future. As always, continuous forms highlights the duration of the action. But in order to understand better, look at this. Future continuous usually is formulated like this. We have will plus be plus present participle or present continuous is the same, by the way. Okay? And we have verb be on the other hand. Be going to, do you remember that? Am is are plus going to plus be and present participle. Okay? Is similar. Okay? As I mentioned, will or be going to are relatively similar if we talk about future continuous. Look at this nice, beautiful picture. And let's start with this example. I will be flying over the Pacific tomorrow at this time. Remember, we have subject plus will plus be and present continuous or participative, right? Participle, sorry. Okay, this is very simple. Look at this one, another example that we have. This time tomorrow, we'll be sitting on the beach. I can't wait. Okay? Similar, the structure is subject, will, be, and the present participle. Okay? Let's move on to the next. Wow, that looks delicious. That is peanut soup, right? In Bolivia. Or sopa de maní in Spanish. Do you like that? I like it. Don't phone grandma now. She'll be having dinner. Okay? The same over here. We have she'll be having dinner. We are talking about she is the subject, and also we can use contractions there. Will is contracted like I'll or she'll in this case. She'll be having dinner, okay? And now I want you to work with me. What do we have over there? We, with the verb move. Remember the structure. First of all, we have to start with subject is we, right? But this into our new house soon, I'm so excited. Okay, let's start to work with this. Think a little bit. How can you formulate that? Okay, let's do it with me. We, it must be will, right? We will be moving into our new house soon. I'm so excited, right? Yes, we'll be moving into our new house soon. I'm so excited. Very simple. Let's continue with the other example. Okay, let's work with me again. We not work next week. We'll be on holiday. Wow, such a nice picture. You know where is that? The salt flat of Uyuni in Bolivia, in Potosí, right? Okay, let's get back to our topic. We were talking about this example. How do we formulate this one? We have to work like this. We will not be working next week. We will be on holiday. But also is important to remember that we have to use the contractions. How do we use the contractions there? We won't be working next week, we'll be on holiday. Yes, you did very well. It was great. Let's continue with the next example. Okay, future continuous for planet actions. We can also do for something that we already know. It is also used as an alternative to the present continuous. What is the difference among present continuous and future continuous? Look at this one. They are arriving tonight. When we talk about this example, it's present continuous. But when we mention the time maker, like tonight, that's also talking about future. But don't forget that we are talking about future continuous. They will be arriving tonight. Don't forget the grammar structure that we have over there. Subject, will be, and present participle, and tonight. Okay, time maker. Similar, right? We can also use it for to replace or instead of that, by the way. Do you recognize this picture? It's very close, right? In La Paz. Let's go. Wow, such a nice car. Okay. It is also used as an alternative to the present continuous. Okay, now I want you to look at this one. I'm not using the car today. That is present continuous. But how about the future continuous? We have, I won't be using the car today. Okay? There is similar in negative sense. We have over here, I won't be using the car today. Let's go with the next example. And also we can formulate questions to ask about other people's plan in the polite way. You can also say like this: what time will you be leaving tomorrow morning, Mr. Smith? Will you be working next week? Okay, that is to ask someone in a polite way. Of course, always we have to be polite, right? But in some places or some situations, we have to be polite because that could be very formal situation or so on. Okay. Future perfect. Let's move on to this one. What about the future perfect? It is such similar like future continuous, but we are talking about now the future perfect. Okay. It's used to say that something will already be completed by a certain time in the future. It is often used with time expressions such as by 5 o'clock, by the time you arrive, in 2 weeks' time, by Friday, by tomorrow night, okay, with different examples. Look at this. We have future perfect. How do we formulate this one? First of all, we have will plus have plus past participle. Or on the other hand, we also have the be going to or verb to be. In this case, am, is, are, going to plus have plus past participle. Okay, we are not talking about a specific time. We don't know exactly when, but we are talking about future, somewhere in the future. Okay, in the future perfect, we can also let's remember that always any sentences that we formulate in English always starts with subject. Look at this subject. You will have learned to speak English fluently in 2 years' time. Be positive. You are learning, you are doing great job. Okay, that's a nice, that example also could be for you, right? Okay, but don't forget about that. You have subject, will, have, and past participle. Okay, you have to remember that also. If we talk about the irregular verbs or regular verbs, in the regular verbs, the past participle is the same as the past, right? In the irregular verb, in the irregular, of course, sometimes it's different. Okay, it's easy, you know. But please, it's important for you to review, to remember all the verbs that is necessary. Not every single verb, of course, the most useful one that usually is listed on your books. Okay, let's move on to this example. You don't need to come and help us make dinner. We'll have finished cooking by the time you arrive. We are setting the time and we are talking about also the future perfect. We'll have finished. Okay? Wow, that looks very delicious. Let's move to this example. She looks very optimistic. Okay, in 2 years' time, I will have become rich. Wow, that must be usually our goals in our life. Okay, let's continue with the other one. Work with me over here. Think, remember, I'm afraid the books you ordered won't, right? This is a negative, not arrive by Friday, but you have to say won't have arrived by Friday. Very simple, right? Okay, let's check it out. Won't have arrived by Friday. Okay, another example that we have over there. We is also in negative form. Let's think a little bit. Now you have to do it. It's your turn. Okay, let's do it. Meanwhile, I'm going to read for you. We not eat before we come, so we'll be hungry. He looks very hungry. Okay, think a little bit, I said. We will not, okay, it's okay so far. We will not or we won't have eaten. You know, do you remember the past participle of eat is eaten, right? We won't have eaten before we come, so we will be hungry. That's perfect. Okay. And also remember a little bit about this one. No future in time clauses. This is a little bit different. Let's talk about the future perfect continuous. Cannot be used in clauses beginning with time expressions such as when, while, before, after, by the time, as soon as, if, unless, etc. Instead of future perfect continuous is used. Okay, that's a little bit different. That's it for today. Okay, and please, let's keep studying, practicing your English. You have a lot of alternatives to practice now. You're at home, and of course, you have to be responsible with a lot of tasks that we have to do. And please, study hard. You will be able to speak English very soon. Very soon, sorry.